Good morning, Class 5-3. Mr. Waterman here with today's Language Arts lesson for Period 1. I hope everyone is doing safe and well. Today is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. Let's begin. Yesterday, we started talking about our new unit. We started talking about past tense verbs, and you completed the activities on pages 77 and 78. Okay, now today we are going to look at pages 79 and 80 of your grammar workbook. Okay, our focus today is going to be on mechanics, and so we have talked about this before. When we talk about the mechanics, we are talking about using punctuation in our sentences. We've talked about full stops or periods. We've talked about question marks and exclamation points. Today we are going to look at how to use commas in our sentences. Okay? Most of you know how to do this already, but this is a nice review because oftentimes when I'm marking your journals, I have seen many of you leaving commas out where you should be putting them in. Okay, so sit back and let's enjoy today's lesson. All right, so we only have 1 point to read here at the top. It says, use commas to separate 3 or more words in a series. That's very important. Let's look at our example sentence. The stone hopped, skipped, and splashed across the water. Okay, so in this sentence we have 3 actions. Okay, we have 3 verbs, and they're all in the past tense. We have the verb hopped, we have the verb skipped, and we have the verb splashed. Okay, so because we have 3 actions in this sentence, in this series, okay, and the words are hopped, skipped, and splashed, we need to put a comma after hopped, we need to put 1 after skipped, and that is all. So anytime you have a series of 3, you'll only need to put in 2 commas, 1 after the first action and 1 after the second action. Okay, if you had 4 words in the series, then you would need 3 commas in the sentence. Okay, if you had 5 actions, then you would need 4 commas, and so on. Okay, now let's look at the directions for this first activity. Today we're working with 6 sentences. Correct the sentences by changing the underlined verbs to the past tense. Add a comma after words in a series. Write the new sentence on the line. Okay, as you know, I love these activities because I love to see you guys search where to either circle the mistakes or where you need to put in the corrections, okay? So we're going to change the underlined verbs into the past tense, okay? And then after that, we're going to add a comma after the words in a series. Please listen to me as I read sentence number 1. The bird flapped its wings, coasted through the air, and turned towards shore. Okay, so you can see we have 3 actions in the sentence again. They are flap, coast, turn. Okay, so we talked about our rules for changing verbs into the past tense yesterday. Okay, so let me just briefly review. Let's look at point 2. Add ed to most verbs to show past tense. Okay. Let's look back here again. Okay. So I know I need to add an ed to coasted, and I need to add one to turn. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write these verbs in the past tense above. Coasted, C-O-A-S-T-E-D. And then for turn, T-U-R-N-E-D. So those are finished. Now let's look back at our point again. Let's look at point 5. If a verb ends with one vowel and one consonant, double the consonant and add ed. Okay, so now this is what we're looking at here with flap. There's our vowel, there's our consonant. So that means we need to add one more P to double the consonant and add ed. So that is going to change flap to flapped. F-L-A-P-P-E-D. Okay. Now that I have changed all of my underlined verbs to the past tense, the next thing I need to do is to put a comma in the series. Okay? Let's look at the sentence again. The bird flapped its wings, coasted through the air, and turned towards shore. All right. So my first comma will go in after the word wings. And my second comma will go in after the word air. There we go. So now, with my two commas added, now I can read the sentence one last time. The bird flapped its wings, coasted through the air, and turned towards shore. Let's write the sentence with our new corrections. Okay. And remember, all of our sentences begin with capital letters, correct? The bird flapped its wings, coasted through the air, and finally, and turned towards shore. Okay, and there it is. We have fixed sentence number 1 completely. Please do numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 by yourself. And remember the rules. If you need to look back at pages 78 and 77 for reference, please do. Oops. Okay. Now, let's look at page 80. Okay. Here's page 80. Please listen as I read through each of the points. Proofreading activity. I know this is your favorite. It's mine too. Point 1. A verb in the past tense tells about an action that already happened. Add ed to most verbs to show past tense in point number 2. Point number 3. If a verb ends with e, drop the e and add ed to show past tense. Point number 4. If a verb ends with a consonant and y, change y to I and add ed. Point number 5. If a verb ends with one vowel and one consonant, double the consonant and add ed. Okay. Proofread the paragraph. Circle any past tense verbs that are incorrect. All right. So let's look at the first sentence. On Saturday, our class cleaned up the beach at Perch Bay. Now, I've already found one mistake with past tense verbs, and it's not in the past tense. Let's look at it again. On Saturday, our class cleaned up the beach at Perch Bay. Where's the mistake? If you said the mistake is clean, you are correct. So remember, I always like to circle my mistake, and what will help me is if I write the correction above it, and that way I can just look at it as I start to rewrite the paragraph. Cleaned. C-L-E-A-N-E-D. Okay? I'm going to read the rest of the paragraph, and you try to pick out the mistakes as I'm reading. We picked up litter, twigs, and seaweed. What's missing there? Listen again. We picked up litter, twigs, and seaweed. Okay. We packed the other garbage into bags. We discovered all kinds of things while we work. Sam showed me movie tickets, bottle tops, and even a watch. The beach looked much better when we were finished. The sand glittered like the sun on the water. I'm glad we worked so hard at the beach. There are many mistakes in this paragraph. Now, the first part for this proofreading activity, we have to circle any past tense verbs that are incorrect. Then we also have to rewrite the paragraph and write the past tense verbs correctly. We also need to add commas where necessary. So I'm going to add my commas beforehand. This will make it easier. Let's go back to sentence number 2. We picked up litter, twigs, and seaweed. Where do I need commas? I need one after litter. Litter's garbage. And I need a comma after twigs. Right? Because in this sentence, we have a series of 3 things that were picked up. Okay? Now, I'm going to have you find the rest of the mistakes and add the rest of the commas. And please rewrite your paragraph here. Okay? Be sure to check your paragraph over and over after you're finished. And if you need some extra practice, on page 79 at the bottom, it says you can make up 3 sentences using a series each of nouns, verbs, and adjectives. And for extra practice, at the bottom of page 80, make sure you proofread your rewritten paragraph. So check it very carefully, okay? That's all for our grammar lesson this morning in period 1. I hope you've enjoyed it and will study very hard. Take care, be well, and stay safe. You're going to have a grammar test on Friday like you normally do, okay? If you have any questions, you can email me at any time. I'll be more than happy to write back with an answer. Stay safe and healthy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all very, very soon again. That's all from me, Mr. Waterman. Take care and bye-bye.